If you've ever torn open a bag of beef jerky on a long drive, sitting in traffic, or cruising down a dusty back road, you've probably felt that rush of salty, savory satisfaction. It's chewy, flavorful, and somehow feels both rugged and comforting at the same time. But here's the thing, beef jerky isn't just a snack. It's a centuries-old survival food that has traveled through history, fueled exploration, and adapted into one of America's favorite protein-packed treats. The journey from raw beef to the perfectly seasoned strips you buy today is more fascinating than you might expect. And it starts long before the meat even hits the factory floor. Jerky's roots go way back. Think ancient times. Before refrigerators, before freezers, before preservatives came in shiny foil packets. Indigenous peoples of the Americas pioneered the process, using the heat of the sun or the slow smoke of a fire to dry strips of meat until they were lightweight, portable, and almost immune to spoilage. They even had a name for it, Jerky, meaning to burn meat, though the real goal was gentle dehydration rather than open-flame cooking. The Quechua people of South America were making it as early as the 1500s, though the tradition is likely far older, passed down through countless generations. When European settlers arrived in the New World, they caught on fast. Jerky's durability made it perfect for cross-country travel when fresh meat would spoil in a matter of days. Pioneers stuffed it into saddlebags, frontiersmen chewed it during long days on horseback, and cowboys swore by it as trail fuel. Fast forward a few centuries, and while jerky is no longer a matter of survival, it's still beloved for its high protein content, long shelf life, and on-the-go convenience. Today, you can find it in flavors that range from classic salt and pepper to sweet teriyaki, fiery jalapeno, and smoky barbecue. Modern jerky production is a mix of tradition and high-tech precision. It all starts with the beef, and not just any beef. Manufacturers prioritize lean cuts like top round, bottom round, and sirloin because fat doesn't dry well and can turn rancid, shortening shelf life. Some premium brands even source grass-fed or organic beef, appealing to health-conscious snackers who want cleaner ingredients and richer flavor. When the beef arrives at the factory, it goes through strict inspection for appearance, texture, and smell. Only the best cuts make it to the trimming line, where skilled workers or laser-guided machines remove every trace of fat, cartilage, and connective tissue once trimmed. The meat is sliced into uniform strips, typically between 1/8 and 1/4 inch thick. Thickness matters here. Too thick and it won't dry evenly. Too thin and it becomes brittle. Slicing machines are calibrated for consistency, and human inspectors double-check the results. Then comes the flavor, magic, marination. The meat strips tumble in vats filled with a secret blend of salt, soy sauce, vinegar, sugar, and spices. Salt not only enhances flavor, but also helps preserve the meat by drawing out moisture, making it less friendly to bacteria. Some producers use vacuum tumblers to pull the marinade deep into the meat fibers, ensuring bold, even seasoning. Marination times vary from a few hours to overnight, depending on the flavor profile the brand is after. From there, many commercial jerky makers add curing agents like sodium nitrite to further preserve the meat, prevent bacterial growth, and lock in that deep reddish-brown color we associate with jerky. Some artisanal brands skip curing agents altogether, relying on salt and vinegar for a more natural approach, though that means shorter shelf life and stricter storage needs. Next comes drying, the heart of jerky making. In the past, it was done over wood fires, but now industrial dehydrators or smokehouses handle the job. Meat strips are laid out on racks with plenty of airflow and gradually heated to about 160 degrees Fahrenheit to kill bacteria. Then the temperature is lowered to around 130 degrees Fahrenheit for slow drying, which takes 6 to 12 hours. For smoky varieties, hickory, mesquite, or applewood chips might be added to infuse rich, earthy notes. Some brands skip the actual smoke and add liquid smoke to the marinade for a more controlled flavor. Once dried, the jerky's moisture content is checked ideally between 20% and 30% for the perfect chewy texture. Too much moisture risks spoilage. Too little makes it tough. Any excess moisture is stabilized in controlled storage rooms before packaging. Each piece is inspected, then sealed in vacuum-packed or nitrogen-flushed bags with oxygen absorber packets to lock in freshness. Quality control teams run taste tests, texture checks, and microbial testing before the product ships out in refrigerated trucks to stores and online warehouses. Even though jerky doesn't require refrigeration, keeping it cool during shipping ensures maximum freshness. From ancient campfires to NASA space missions, beef jerky has proven itself as a snack that can literally go anywhere. It's popular in North America, Australia, South Africa, and beyond, with its mix of portability, nutrition, and nostalgia making it universally appealing. Whether you're packing for a hike, hitting the gym, or just craving a savory treat, you're participating in a tradition that's hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And if beef jerky represents rugged, savory energy, Oreos are the sweet, creamy flip side of America's snacking soul. With over $2 billion in annual sales, the Oreo is the world's most famous cookie, and its rise is just as fascinating as jerky's. Born in 1912 under Nabisco's roof, the Oreo was designed to compete with the Hydrox cookie, but quickly overtook it thanks to smart marketing and irresistible flavor. Today, factories in 18 countries produce around 40 billion Oreos a year, shipping them to over 100 countries. What makes an Oreo an Oreo? It starts with that iconic crème filling, spelled crème because it contains no dairy at all. Instead, it's a blend of sugar, vegetable oils, and soy lecithin, an emulsifier that allows oil and water to mix smoothly. Lecithin also traps air, contributing to the light, fluffy texture of the filling. Inside massive mixing tanks, ingredients are precisely measured, blended, and temperature-controlled to ensure the crème is perfectly smooth. Once ready, it's stored in heated tanks and piped to the cookie assembly line, where pumps deposit exactly the right amount onto each chocolate wafer. Palm oil plays a big role here, giving the filling a stable, creamy consistency without animal fats. Nabisco sources its palm oil more sustainably to help combat deforestation and protect wildlife habitats. The sweetness comes from a mix of regular sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and sometimes invert sugar, each contributing to texture, moisture retention, and that signature Oreo taste. Every batch is tested for smoothness, flavor balance, and consistency before it moves to assembly. The chocolate wafers themselves are made from a blend of flour, sugar, cocoa, and leavening agents, mixed into a dough, rolled thin, and stamped. With Oreo's iconic design, they're baked until crisp, cooled, and paired up with the crème filling. Once sandwiched, the cookies are inspected, packaged, and sealed for freshness before being shipped worldwide. Whether you're tearing into a bag of smoky, chewy beef jerky or twisting apart an Oreo to get to the crème, you're enjoying the result of centuries of tradition, decades of innovation, and a whole lot of food science. These snacks may taste worlds apart, but they share something important. They're engineered to be delicious, consistent, and impossible to eat just one.
If you've ever bitten into a perfectly crisp Oreo or dunked a golden McDonald's chicken McNugget into your favorite sauce, you know, these snacks have a way of pulling you in and keeping you coming back for more. But what if I told you that behind every single bite is a world of science, engineering, and precision that would blow your mind? These aren't just snacks, they're products of meticulous design, flavor chemistry, and industrial wizardry, crafted to deliver the exact same experience whether you're in New York, Los Angeles, or halfway around the globe. Today we're pulling back the curtain to explore the fascinating journeys of Oreos and McNuggets, from raw ingredients to those crave-worthy bites we know and love. Let's start with Oreos, the cookie that's been stealing hearts for over a century. While the FDA says invert sugar is safe, they, like most nutrition experts, recommend we limit our intake of added sugars. That's because our bodies aren't built for such high levels of sweetness. And over time, it can trigger cravings that lead to overeating. In the Oreo factory, sugar isn't just an ingredient. It's a carefully handled and measured component that determines texture, flavor, and consistency. Workers and sensors watch closely as sugars are weighed, blended with dry ingredients, and slowly heated to precise temperatures. Heat them too quickly, and you risk caramelization that could alter the cookie's taste. Cool them too fast, and crystallization could make the dough grainy. Cool too slowly, and you'll end up with dough that's too soft to shape. Using specialized air and liquid cooling systems, the mixture is brought to just the right temperature, with large paddles constantly moving the dough so sweetness is evenly distributed. Quality control teams test samples for texture, moisture, and flavor, ensuring that every single Oreo meets the brand's famously high standards. And then there's the flavor. While some packages list natural flavor and others artificial flavor, the truth is that vanilla is the star in the creamy filling, and wheat fortified with vitamins like folic acid is the backbone of that classic chocolate cookie. The process begins with mixing sugar, cocoa, salt, and oil into a rich chocolatey batter. Water is added, causing the mixture to bubble, and then dry ice quickly cools it to keep it workable. Flour is folded in, the dough is portioned into perfect rounds, and a signature roller stamps that unmistakable Oreo design. In a single hour, a machine can produce about 5,000 cookies. They bake in an 85-meter-long oven, emerging perfectly crisp, before being paired with precisely pumped vanilla cream and sandwich it into the iconic treat. Within 90 minutes, the factory can produce up to 3,000 finished Oreos per minute, ready to be packed, shipped, and devoured. And if you've noticed the packaging says, "made with bioengineered ingredients," it simply means some plants used for the ingredients have been genetically improved for resilience, thoroughly tested and approved for safety. Now let's shift gears to another American icon, the McDonald's Chicken McNugget. Americans eat an astonishing 2.3 billion McNuggets a year, enough to circle the earth more than 100 times. But these nuggets didn't just appear on the menu by accident. Born in the early 1980s, the McNugget was the brainchild of McDonald's. First executive chef, René Arend, a Luxembourg-trained master of classical French cuisine. His mission was simple but groundbreaking: turn bite-sized chicken into a fast food sensation. At a time when red meat dominated menus, the challenge? Create nuggets that were flavorful, uniform, easy to mass-produce, and, most importantly, fun to eat. That's how we got the four famous shapes: bell, boot, ball, and bone design, not just for cooking consistency, but to make every happy meal a little more exciting. The process of making McNuggets is a marvel of food engineering. It starts with carefully sourced chicken breast meat, ground to a smooth paste, then blended in a mega mixer with salt, pepper, sugar, and a secret blend of spices. The mixture is molded into its signature shapes, scanned for imperfections, and coated in a special batter and seasoned breadcrumbs designed to stick just right for that perfect crunch. The nuggets are flash fried for a few seconds, just enough to set the coating before being rapidly frozen in giant blast freezers to lock in freshness. From there, they're packaged and shipped to McDonald's locations nationwide. When you order them at your local restaurant, the nuggets go straight from the freezer into fryers filled with a blend of canola, soybean, and corn oils. They're fried at a precise temperature to ensure a golden crust with a juicy center, then kept warm in temperature-controlled trays until they're served with your choice of dipping sauce. Whether you're a sweet and sour loyalist or a barbecue devotee, the combination of salty, savory, and slightly sweet flavors plus that satisfying crunch creates a snack that's practically engineered to be addictive. Both Oreos and McNuggets prove that what we eat is rarely as simple as it looks. Behind every bite are layers of science, craftsmanship, and attention to detail that turn ordinary ingredients into extraordinary experiences. They've not only shaped our snacking habits, but also cemented their place in American culture, proving that the right mix of nostalgia, innovation, and taste can keep people coming back for decades. So the next time you twist open an Oreo or bite into a McNugget, remember you're not just eating a snack, you're enjoying the result of decades of perfected food magic.